Welcome. We're out here in the middle of nowhere, PA, listening to owls and anything else that makes noise. The light you see is the moon. I'm being very quiet so you can hear the owls. Welcome. We're out in the middle of nowhere, PA. I'll turn the light on for a moment, but just for a moment. I'm being super quiet so that we can hear owls. I've heard 3 or 4. I see comments. I don't know how to type. Trying to figure out how to type on here. Okay, that's not how you do it. But I want to say hello to everybody. To those that are here. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, PA. And the owls were just hooting and hollering. And I said, man, I gotta get my phone out. Let y'all listen to this. But it's been a couple minutes now. I don't think they're done yet. Now, to be a little more specific, I'm actually at a nature reserve. It's part of a museum. And they have a program that's, they study birds. And I suppose partly because there's a lot of birds out here, including a good owl population. I think I heard 3 owls, maybe 4. They all have their own distinct hoot. Whoa, I almost fell. Gotta watch my step. It's freaking dark out here. Alright. It is very peaceful out here. I do shine my camera up at the moon to give you guys a sense of orientation of where I'm going. Like you can see me move left and right from the moon. But I'm just walking along a path that's just heavy woods. And you can hear owls galore in there. And I thought, man, I want you guys to hear this. There's the moon. There we go. A few moments ago, we had some owls hooting. Kind of just hanging out now. Listening to the peepers. crickets. It's a cool night. Not much for bugs flying around at the moment. It'd be so easy to just lay down, fall asleep to this. I might have to get me a fancy microphone. Just record about an hour of this, put it on a loop, catch some of those owls hooting, make that like a audio track or something, upload it to YouTube. Man, I don't know what happened to my owls. We had a few of them hooting. They were sounding beautiful too. They all had their own distinct voice. Maybe that's all we get with them owls. I don't know. Wasps have been, I'm sorry, I'm trying to read. Wasps have been everywhere in my front porch lately. That sucks. By the way, I uploaded a couple videos where I yanked out some hornet nests, wasp nests, whatever they were. And I've got one of the videos is like a pro tip. Throw a trash bag over top of it really quickly, twist the bag tightly, and yank the nest down. They're trapped inside. Of course, I had a suit on, so I could come in fearlessly, just grab the thing and yank it out. By the way, if you're out in the middle of nowhere, PA or otherwise, and you have chickens around, chickens love wasp larvae, the babies. They love them. It's a delicious, nutritious snack for them. So if you have to yank out a nest and you've got all those babies in there, you can throw that whole nest into a pen there with the chickens and let them have at it, I suppose. You'd tear into it. They would eat them up. Hey, I recognize that guy. Welcome, Shroom Day. Man, I wasn't even inviting you properly because I was trying to let you have your life, because it seems like every time I'm live, you're there, and I wasn't trying to burden you. This was me just coming out here off the cuff to catch owls hooting, and they're done. You have to go back and listen to the beginning, because I did catch a few minutes of it. But at this point, I haven't heard them in a good 5+ minutes, maybe longer. Definitely a surprise. So, hey, we got a handful of people here. We're just under the moon out here in the middle of nowhere, PA. Under the moon, by the way. Actually, if you go back and watch that video entitled Under the Moon on my channel, it's just me playing guitar under the moon. But this shot right now with the camera reminds me of that, because I had the moon up in the sky and it was dark out when I was out living in the middle of nowhere, PA, on some back road, and it was like February. This is maybe 3+ years ago. This was before I was out traveling PA doing mushroom events and stuff, way back. But I got a video called Under the Moon. There you go. I just shameless plugged one of my old videos. My neighbor started feeding me beers. Am I reading that right? Oh yeah, okay, I did read that right. I started reading the from back to front. All right, thank you guys for amusing me. Having a captive audience here of comedians in my feed is a beautiful thing while I'm just out here listening to these animals. Do you hear that? I think it's a frog. It's kind of right in front of me, up in this tree. And it's a periodic croak. You hear that? There it is again. And there it was again. Is that a frog? Oh, I've got a vehicle come out. I better get over on the side of the road and hope it's not like a sheriff or something. I'm just gonna straight up tell them what's happening out here. Oh, there we go. There's not much traffic on this road. So the odds of it being like sheriff or some kind of enforcement of whatever probably be like a coin flip, because I'm in a nature reserve, right? There's nobody living here. There we go. Gotta get that moon shot again. All right, let me get caught up on some of these comments. Thank you guys, by the way, for joining me. Oh, did you hear that? Let me shut up for a minute. I heard now. They're back. Okay. I heard an owl. So I shut up. And then they shut up. So let's give it a minute though. I was expecting an echo or a callback from another one. Yeah, like this is a beautiful sound. Owls or not. This stretch of road here is considered a highway, but there's nobody living on it, right? There's buildings that are doing like research. I don't know what, like research facilities out in the middle of nowhere, PA. And one of them is like an avian study building where they're doing things with birds. They're tagging birds by the thousands, I suppose, from what I've read. So they're doing a lot of conservation work here. and birds are a big thing. I actually know personally the person who knows trees here, the tree woman. Um, and she knows tree rot. But so what I consider is, when I'm out mushroom hunting, I'm looking for in a lot of cases, tree rot. She approaches it from the angle of the tree, and I look at it from the angle of the mushroom. Sometimes we're talking about the same thing. But there's different parts of nature that this place specializes in, and birds are a big thing here. And they've got owls out here. Man, we heard that one again. Now they're quiet again. Thank you guys for coming in. Keep getting new people that jump in, probably wondering what the heck's going on. I don't hear any owls. Yeah, we have them from the beginning. We have them, and then I caught that one while I was talking, so I shut up. Nothing. Now they're being all quiet. But doesn't nature sound so beautiful? You hear that? I need to invest in a little bit better microphone. Something that can capture these sounds, the ambiance or whatever you call it. All these little critters making all their noises. A whole cacophony. Hey, I didn't see you. Chubby Hubby, welcome. From the distance I'm looking at my phone, I just thought you were Shroom Day because it was the same color. Okay. Hey, I appreciate having Shroom Day join me for some post-festivity feasting and chilling. Man, now I don't hear them. Well, I'm going to walk back to my truck. I'm about, I don't even know, a quarter mile from my truck now. So I'm just walking up the road, and I'm going to do it quietly so we can catch a hoot. Out in these parts, at this time of night, we all look alike. the heck is that? You guys hear that? I kept hearing the sound every step I was taking. I look over thinking something's following me like a critter on the ground making a scuffle. I look down, I don't see a thing. And then I walk again, then I hear this noise again, thinking maybe it's coming from my shoe. There it was again. Y'all hear that? What the heck is it? My shoelaces are not dragging. I'm going to walk backward. Screw this. What's sneaking up on me now? Nothing. Okay, turn around. What the? Oh my goodness. It's too early for this, guys. It ain't even October yet, and I'm spooking myself out. I'm carrying a cup with water in it, and I didn't realize my lid is half popped off, and every step I was taking was a little bit was sloshing out. And I kept hearing it happen with each step in sequence with mine, thinking something was behind me. What the heck? Happy Halloween. All right. Okay, I don't hear any owls at the moment. I'm just kind of going back to camp for a second. Going back to my start. Maybe I'll hit a different trail. I did not go down my other trail. But for those who have ever... Oh, shoot, I just heard an owl. I think they're back. We might be heading back. If they start hooting a bunch, I'm going right back. But at the meantime, I'm heading to my truck. And if I don't hear them for a minute, we're going to go down this other trail and see what I can actually catch. This other trail is like an off-road everything. We were actually on a road last time when I was walking. And now I'm in a parking lot, a gravel lot here. So we're back at my truck. All right. So I want to thank anybody and everybody who's jumped on the feed so far, even those that just peeped for a second to see what's up and thought this is boring. Well, you still hopped on. You're still helping out the algorithm, so I appreciate you. And I'm taking an intermission for myself to grab a bite to eat. Then I'm about to either head back on the main road where I heard the owls last time, or I'm going into this trail. You can see the shadow of my finger here, right? No, that's my hand. I thought that was a shadow on the ground. No, you see my hand right now. So back in there in this little dark patch there. Let me step back. I want you guys to capture this. So in there's a trail. It goes in, turns left, and goes way back in there. And that's where I'm headed if we don't hear any owls coming off of the road. Once again, let me grab me my food. That'll keep me shut up with food in my mouth so we can hear owls. Hey, I hope you guys are ready for tomorrow night, by the way. Man, I gotta do some erasing of last week's to make room for the artwork for tomorrow. I haven't even filmed. Tomorrow's still, well, I've got a little filmed, but I haven't really put it together. I haven't done most of my footage, the stuff on the side of the truck. But tomorrow night is going to be a good one. An interesting topic involving two different fungi. barely related to each other. They're more related to what they do to us than what they are genetically related to each other. So stick around for tomorrow night's episode and the live. It's going to be good. So I welcome those that have jumped on here. I guess I'm shamelessly plugging tomorrow nights by being on here tonight, but I honestly just wanted to get on here and listen to owls. And we were listening to owls, and then they kind of went quiet on us. So do we go down this trail? If I go down this trail, I am going to be periodically turning my light on so I don't trip and fall, because I cannot see where I'm going. Here, I'll show you. So yeah, this is what I'd be walking on, and that's why I'd have to periodically see where I'm going, because it's bumpy and lumpy, and my forehead will become that as well if I walk on this without a light. So do I take that way? Shoot, there we go. We don't need that on right now. I'm still highly considering going back to where I actually heard the owls, because I've heard them a few times since, just more periodic than before. But I know this: if I go back out to the main road, I can eat and not worry about falling and still maintain camera. How's that sound? How do you like them apple and Adams? And we got a little moonlight right here in this spot. There we are. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. Try something here. Hey, there we are. We're back. Hey, I see that you need to leave. Thank you for stopping in. I hope you got to hear owls at least once. We had owls a while ago. But appreciate you. Fluffy Berry. Fluffy Berry sounds like a strain. Hi, Moon. Oh, that means I got the camera angle right. I couldn't see where my phone was placed. I couldn't see my screen. I was kind of hoping it was angling right. If you saw it, nice. At least for a moment. All right, now it's time for me to feast. So I'll be reading the chat. I won't be talking because I'll just be eating and listening to owls, hopefully, with you. The secret here, guys, is that I'm actually open to stumble upon Bigfoot and have the footage. I'm just using this live as a cover-up. Bigfoot knows to live on a nature reserve. They ain't stupid. Man, these frogs behind me are having a concert. Yeah, I'm missing out on a golden opportunity, guys. Why the hell am I not recording this shiitake and uploading it as like some help you fall asleep videos? Like some 8-hour track. Shoot, I could just record 8 hour straight, non-looped. Go whole high quality. Here you go, guys. Have to start a whole new YouTube channel. Watch myself become wealthy and famous. Not because I'm a mushroom hunter, but because I did that. That's the way life goes sometimes. But anyways, these dang owls kind of shut up on us. Yeah, you'd want non-looped for the authenticity. That's like the real deal. You know that came straight from nature. Although, you know they got the ability with AI to just fake it. Non-loop, just go straight nature sounds with randomized different animals and this and that. I want to know what that bug or whatever that sound is. Sounds like a zipper. It's like zzz. Can you hear that? I'm getting closer. Hear that one? There it is again. It's like somebody snoring. We're close to it. If I get too close, it might shut up. Dude, that's no cricket. I think it's a bug, but it's no cricket. It's just loud. Here, I'm getting really close to it. Okay. It's in these tall grasses. Is that a cicada? Would it be making that kind of noise? All right, here's what we're going to do, guys. I'm going to turn the light on at it and get close, and we're going to see what that sound is, because I'm curious now. What's stopping us, right? All right. Got to button up my food here. Not trying to litter. Not trying to leave a mess. Let me grab my gear here. Did you hear those bats? I'm pretty sure I heard bats behind me. All right, but we got to check this out. I think it sounds sexual. Like, I think it's something mating. That's probably because I think everything out here is trying to right now. Here we go. Come on, light. Oops. Man, where'd my light go? There we go. Wow. Let it adjust. All right, what's making the noise, guys? Yeah. Oh, it stopped. I think it knows I'm coming on to it now. We didn't get that far, but it was right there where I'm pointing. Do you see anything? I'm not above it. My hand is. You look for me. Here, I'm going to wave my hand up there because I'm not trying to walk in that. I don't have my boots on. I'm in sneakers here. So this stuff's tall as my knees. You guys look through there. Tell me what you sees, if you please. See anything hiding? Here, let's retract. I'm going back. I'm not trying to get attacked. All right, lights back off, guys. All right, I'm waiting for some feedback from y'all. Y'all got to see that. Shoot. Nature's sounding pretty amazing. But the owls is what I was really enthralled by. And I was like, you know what? I want you guys to hear this. Let me catch some of this for you. And when this is over, if you do want to watch this footage again, it's going to stay up on my channel. But really, the good is only the first few moments, maybe the first 5 minutes or so. But you'll have to go back, listen for yourselves. The lights are off back at my truck. It's late now. But hey, I want to say thank you to everybody, including the couple that stayed on. I think I had the diehards here, my double moderation. You guys stuck out this whole thing. But we had different guests from probably around the world jumping on. And that's kind of, when I know the algorithm does that, when you go live, it kind of just jumps, puts it in front of anybody all over the place. I'm thinking, you know what? There's people that have never been in the middle of nowhere, PA. They've never been in deep woods. They've never heard an owl hoot in nature before among the sounds of crickets and frogs and this and that. So they're, in the middle of scrolling on YouTube nonsensically, they stumble upon a chance to listen to nature for a minute, maybe take a break for 5 minutes and jump in. I don't expect them to stay the whole time. This wasn't a thing that was really related to my channel so much as me just trying to enjoy nature and thinking, I bet there's people on the other side of the planet that might want to check this out. So it's one of those check this out moments that I get to share live. Why not? Mushroom or not. Hey, I'm back at my truck. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, PA, where I've actually done lives here on Monday nights here, where I'm parked right now. So this is a beautiful place. I'm glad I can't talk. I'm glad that it's considered a reserve where it's protected. I'm glad that there's folks that study the wildlife here and nature as a whole. They don't have a mushroom person. They've got plant people. They've got animal people. They need a mushroom person. What do you think of that? So I think the owls might be done. I have subs from Japan, Scotland, Australia, Italy, and who knows where else. Right on. That's what I'm talking about. And I know, like, even the non-subs, which could become subs, of course, but the non-subs I know a lot of times come from other places. Yeah, exactly. That you get to meet people from all over the place. And I still want to have that I'm Pennsylvania guy, right? Because that's where I'm at. But I know that I'm entertaining a global audience. But I'm a Pennsylvania guy, so there's people around the world that probably wonder, what's Pennsylvania? Pennsylvania is this, how do you describe Pennsylvania? It's like hillbilly, but northern hillbilly, Appalachia, coal miner country here. If you're not from America, this is kind of a part of the country that was, for much of America's history, well, it's named Pennsylvania, which means Penn's Woods. This was a big forest that had farms built or put in, and industry, coal, which led to steel as being a big industry here. And this is kind of what's left over. We're in the outskirts. I'm maybe an hour from Pittsburgh, out in the middle of nowhere. There was coal mining in these parts. Was not anymore, I don't think. There, I was just sharing sharing where my location is and a little history about PA, some of it, and its significance to what's happening here now. This nature reserve was bought and paid for and is being preserved by a museum that was started by some wealth, some big families in the Pittsburgh area. I'm trying to think where their money came from. Does anybody know? Any Pennsylvania trivia people here know the Carnegie family and where their money came from? Wasn't that steel? Was Carnegie the steel guy? Which, you know, he would have had his hands in the coal industry then. If that's him, I thought that was him. Carnegie. And then you also had Mellon. I don't know why, but I feel like Mellon was like a financier guy, a money guy, like a banker of some sort. But I don't know that. I'm just guessing, like I just pulled that out of my butt. Shoot. We're just musing and rambling about Pennsylvania history here. Don't hear any more owls hooting. Little kind of a factoid, but you got to go see it for yourself. Maybe a good thing to do when you get off my feed here, you leave this feed, go on YouTube and search owl without feathers. Check it out. Very bizarre. He funded a lot of libraries. Who was that, Carnegie or Mellon? Because the museum, Carnegie Mellon Museum, is pretty much what runs this reserve. At least all of the facilities and the staffing, that's all them. The signage is that museum signage, so it's all the museum. I believe it's a property entrusted to them somehow, some way. Ah, okay, interesting. About the Appalachian Mountain history. So that's why I consider Pennsylvania as like the northern hillbillies for people who might not be from America. I don't know what non-Americans, non-North Americans think of America. I know what Canadians think of America, and they know the difference between California and Iowa as far as like demographics and things like that. But when you're not from this continent, do you think everybody's like Californians, like you see on Hollywood? Or is everybody like they are from New York? We know as Americans, we know we're not all the same that way. Heck, I'm from the Midwest, Michigan, most of my life. Both times I moved to Texas was like moving to another country. And of course, they pride themselves in that. They had a freaking commercial back in the 90s, Texas. We're like a whole nother country. So, but even going from Michigan to Pennsylvania, 2 states away, I'm like a foreigner out here. Or I was. I've adapted. And therefore, then I've adopted Pennsylvania as my home, as my state here. Consider myself a Pennsylvanian, but I know I talk differently. I know I have mannerisms, behaviors that are different and all. But this feels like home now. Place of woods everywhere. You can't go far without a tree. And thankfully, because of the mycorrhizal relationships and what we know, can't go far without a tree means you can't go far without finding a mushroom out in these parts. Yeah, what are you guys still doing on my live? We haven't heard owls in a long time. Now you're just getting to listen to me hoot. Feel free to leave a comment. Thank you guys for jumping on here and listening to me just muse about Pennsylvania and stuff. All right. Want to listen to me shoot the shiitake then? But I'm going to be interactive. How's that? So I will post questions y'all's way, and you can respond if you like. Give you something to comment about. But when's the last time among, life, work, all the things we do from Sunday to Sunday, when's the last time you were able to be under the moon, pull an all-nighter under the sky? Not in a house, not under a roof, but open aired it. When's the last time you were able to open air an all night? Maybe you stayed up all night, bonfire, or maybe you camped out. I'll even include a tent. That's not a roof. I'm not, you're not under a building, but under a tent is fair. That counts. But when's the last time you pulled an all night outside? Are we talking like a week ago? Yesterday? A month ago? Was it a year ago? Was it when you were a kid? Let me know in the comments. What kind of audience am I dealing with here? Do you guys do this all the time? Is this normal for you? And if so, why the heck are you on my feed? This is boring. You do this all the time. I imagine the folks that are on here don't do this often. Mr. Chubby Hubby, that's beyond amazing. Kind of terrifying too, but that's because I've got this weird phobia of open ocean water where you're like so far out you don't see mainland. Yeah, if you had me way out in the middle of nowhere, not PA, but middle of nowhere water, yeah, my anxiety's going way up. Because even if I'm secure on that platform, on that deck, I'm good and tidy and not even sloshing around, right? Say it's not even turbulent, it's calm. That freaking aircraft carrier, which that's got to be one of the largest ships on the ocean, right? Our aircraft carriers, right? Even that thing is a freaking little bobber. That's a speck of dust on the whole ocean. That thing could be tossed and turned in the right current, in the right spots of the ocean where those swells get nasty. I don't know. Yeah, I felt my heart kind of tighten up there just thinking about it. Thoughts are powerful, guys. Just thinking about that had me feeling away. Shoot, where did that go? You guys been commenting. Excuse me. Full dark 30 and full flight ops going on. So, like I guess if I had nothing going on, I could just lie there and look up at the full night sky with no noise or no light pollution because you're out in the middle of the ocean and it's calm. That would be one thing. I could probably get past the anxiety, but if I had to walk around where I could see the horizon, that's where it gets frightening, I think, is seeing that open water on the horizon, knowing I can't see land. I could psych myself out if I was lying down on a deck looking up, because I can imagine that to my sides there's land. I can't imagine that if I'm looking right at no land straight out in front of me. Yeah, that does count, Shroom Day. The van counts. Heck yeah, it counts. My truck counts. Yeah, that's another thing. Being out in the middle of the ocean, how many minutes are you from land? That matters. I was out, shoot, I don't know. I'm guessing between 5 and 10 miles. I'm going to say closer to 5 than 10. But it was out far enough where you couldn't see land. Would that be 5 miles? I don't know. You guys might know. We were out far enough where we couldn't see land. Whale watching. But I still knew, even though there was the anxiety of not seeing land, I still knew we were, X amount of minutes away from land. What do you do if you're middle of the Atlantic, halfway from North America and Europe? How many minutes are you from land, from a continent? How many hours? If you're not moving, someone's got to come to you, right? So they're at minimum, I imagine, tens of hours from getting to you. If you're offshore, 10 miles offshore, they're still hours from getting to you probably. And that's if they know your location. They got to, get everything ready and get out there and get to you. It's going to take them a few hours, I imagine, still. But if you're out in the middle of the ocean, even with a GPS, it's going to take them a long time, I imagine, unless they're taking what can they fly out there? A special aircraft that can fly right to you and then just come down on you? I don't know. I have no idea what I'm talking about now. You guys came to listen to an owl hoot. I am not an owl hooting. Yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about. Shroom Day was Myco Fest when you mentioned. Yeah, the ocean, being on top of the ocean is nightmare fuel for me in so many different ways. Whether it's the idea of being stranded for days on some piece of boat. I don't imagine sharks being the big problem. That's, from the movie Jaws, of course, as a kid, that was the big fear. But I don't recognize sharks as the big terror anymore. I think there's worse ones. And it kind of depends on where you are in the ocean, right? There's a spot that I've been terrified of in my mind. I don't think I'd ever see it, but shoot. Don't let me end up between Papua New Guinea and Australia in that narrow corridor of ocean there, where the Indian Ocean, I guess, meets. Is that the North Sea above Australia? Or that stretch there, I think they have saltwater crocodiles as well as sharks. Yeah, being stranded in the ocean. There's movies about that, and they're not comedies. I don't think. Are there any stranded in the ocean comedies? You guys let me know in the comments. But all the ocean stranded movies have been horror movies that I can recall. Shoot, that's where Hollywood needs to get creative too. They need to come up with some comedy movie of people getting stranded in the ocean, because that would be original. Because who's making comedies about that, right? We haven't had good comedies in a while. Just saying. I'll tell you what, there is one Stranded in the Ocean movie where it had a good ending. That was Life of Pi. Open Water. Was that the one? Was that a shark movie? What's the one that was based on a real story, I think, of these two people that went on like a diving tour and then they got left? And I guess they died. But they spent the night out in that ocean. Shoot, I'm sorry. I'll spend the night. I can spend the night in the woods, in the complete darkness of the woods. Because I know what the woods look like in the daytime. I know what's out there. The woods don't get terrifying at night to me because I've spent so much time in the woods. The ocean is terrifying in the daytime. It's not getting any better at night. Not for me. The barbecue is right before the ending. What? Wait, what? I better back up. Here I go again, reading backwards, messing myself up. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Sorry, I'm saying thank you to your comment, Shroom Day. You agree. For sure. These oceans, these woods don't terrify me. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a predictability, right? We get accustomed to certain things, sights, sounds, smells, all that. When those get altered or you know shifted from what you expect to something different all of a sudden, that sends alert signals. Depending on how loud the sound is, or off-putting the smell is, or what else do we got? Smell, sound, I don't know. But you're in the woods at night and you come across a loud sound, a snap of a tree branch. That might, get you all worked up for a moment. But you get your bearings together when you realize, oh, that's, this or that. That's normal. Or you come across some foul smell and you just stumbled upon a coyote den, or there's animal carcasses nearby. You're like, oh crap. You ever stumbled upon one of those in the woods? So it's not that the woods can't be, I don't know, I don't want to say scary. To me, it's not a scare. But can you say maybe it is a fear response of some sort that we have that's innately in us? That we're supposed to have a reaction to things, keeping us on our toes. But once you assess the reacting agent and you discover what it was, you realize, okay, I'm good. What the heck am I talking about? It's freaky when you see a set of eyes in the woods at night, especially when it zigzags back and forth between eyes as it's getting closer, or between trees as it's getting closer. Werewolves and vampires are not in the woods during the daytime. But you know what is? Bigfoot. Bigfoot lives out in these woods, right? It's not like it leaves the woods in the daytime, goes to the city, and comes back to the woods at night. It's out here all the time. So why the heck are we not finding them? Are they interdimensional or quasi-dimensional beings of some sort that aren't all the way here in this reality, that are plucking with our minds, that we spot them and then they're here one moment there and they're gone the next? What's happening here? Were Bigfoot's real and they're extinct? Why are we not finding their remains? Is it all humans, meaning hoaxes and homeless people and alike? Mm. I don't know if anyone that's actually seen him or found a carcass. Right. So, we'll say there's scant to a fair amount of sightings and videos and this and that of Bigfoot. It's not like heavy amount of proof, right? Or it'd be a done deal, right? But I don't think that's the case. So we got sketchy proof at best. We don't have bodies. We don't have carcasses. Every year, dare I say every month of the year, could I even go and say every week of the year? Is it possible that every week in the year there is an American, just in America alone, who's discovering the skull of an animal in the woods? Whether it be a black bear skull, a deer skull, heck, it could even be a little, like an owl pellet, and they found a mouse skull. But they're finding an animal skull, and I'm not even talking about scientists. I'm talking about people hiking in the woods or kids playing in their backyard or whatever. Americans finding skulls. That's a thing. And I think it happens probably every dang week of the year. Nobody's finding Bigfoot skulls. Nobody. What's going on here, guys? Hide and seek world champion, you bet. They are so good at hiding, they pose themselves as humans and give themselves silly stage names to fool y'all, like Mr. Jeff. But they're actually Bigfoot. They even wear glasses, but they're not prescription. They're just like Walmart throwaway readers, just to give themselves an intellectual look, like they look like they're humans. If they take the glasses off and they take the hat off so you can see the whole big old caveman forehead and brow bone, you know they're Bigfoot. It's clear as day. Well, the lost humans thing, are we talking lost humans or like murdered and buried in the woods lost? Because lost with intent, which if humans are involved, there's an intent involved, right? A human intent. Even the lost person in the woods, they got lost in the woods because that human intended on going in the middle of nowhere somewhere deep enough where humans don't venture, probably. So it created its own problem of finding them. But even more so, the murder, the body's getting buried in the woods. You ain't finding the ones I put in the woods, right? Because I intended on hiding them far enough and away enough. That's the whole point, not to find them. Just kidding, guys. All right, where are we at? He was 8'2" and smelled of rotten stew. He's a Bigfoot. I have to step away again. Hey, you don't even have to come back, but I appreciate you coming on. Let's make this a formal, because we're on an hour and a half. Let's go ahead and formally close this off, guys. I appreciate you coming on here, hanging out in the woods with me here. We had owls in the first 10 minutes, and then it's just been listening to this old owl hoot. So thank you guys for coming on here and listening to me ramble about, what did we even talk about? Bigfoot? A few other things. I spoke about a few different things on here. Don't even remember now at this point, but I had all you guys as my guests. So thank you. And I want to say have a good night to everybody. Appreciate my moderators, Shroom Day. For those that did jump on here, go check out Shroom Day 0117. His channel deals with silversmithing, metallurgy, metal detecting. So go give him a sub. And Mr. Chubby Hubby, thank you both for moderating. I didn't shout your channel out because I don't know enough about your channel other than it's like your personal channel, so I didn't shout it out. But thank you both. And there we go. I think he just put a link up to his own channel. Go check his out then. I'd enjoy if I had people getting subs off of being on my live feed too. That'd be pretty cool. So, oh, that's Shroom Day's channel. All right, there you go. There's the link. Yeah, as moderators, you guys are welcome to give you guys your own shout outs to your channel. You're doing the dirty work on mine, so help yourselves out to my people even. And say goodnight to the moon on that note, like we always do. Peace. Hey, and go subscribe to my channel. Good night, guys.